Hey friends, and welcome back to another What I Eat in a Week. Or if you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Immy and I talk about a lot of things to do with sustainability, a ton of food videos, and just trying to spend more time doing the things we love and our hobbies. I've been saying for months that I really want to try new recipes, so I tried probably about 10 new tofu recipes this week. I also made rye bread for the first time, experimented with different meal preps, and made a bunch of recipes that are simple but really enjoyable and I've been loving recently. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up as it really helps to support my channel, and consider subscribing so that you never miss another video. Okay, grab a cup of tea and let's get into it. So this week I really wanted to start off with making something that had Project Pantry in mind. I'm always thinking about what I can make with stuff I already have first, especially when it comes to very simple meals like breakfast. But because we have quite a lot of oats, we bought a massive bag a few months ago. I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to make those apple pie meal prepped oats that I made in one of my other videos. It's a very simple and straightforward recipe, and it's really been helping me to make sure I have breakfast. Breakfast is one of those meals where sometimes when I can't be bothered, I just won't have breakfast. But because I have a lot of fitness and adventure goals this year, I really need to be eating enough. So I've been making sure that I have these apple pie oats in the morning. It's been helping so much with my energy levels when I go off for big hikes, and it makes such a big difference. It makes the hike actually enjoyable and much less painful. I have been binge watching Simply Sarah Hart's videos. She's the woman who came up with this idea of kind of block or Lego meal prep. And she's been giving me so many ideas of things that I could prepare for the days where I'm feeling slightly more tired, or managing to get in certain things like enough protein and fiber, or just making sure that I get that breakfast in too. I recently decided to treat myself to a Japanese clay pot called a donabe, I think that's how you pronounce it, and I have been experimenting with how to cook properly with it. My friend Moko introduced me to this several years ago, and I thought it was about time I got my own. So as I said, this week I experimented with a lot of tofu recipes. If you missed my tofu video, I put that up a few days ago where I tested lots of recipes and then picked out the ones that I thought were really worth your time. I think it's so easy just to make the same meals over and over again, and to be honest, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you have the ingredients and the spices and all that kind of stuff, and you just simply like it, then I guess there's no point in trying things new if you don't want to. For me, I've been saying for months that I want to try new recipes, and I think sometimes it's very easy for me to get stuck. And I kind of mean this in a creative way. If I'm not trying new things, then I find it hard to even think of new things and new ideas and kind of broadening my horizons. And there are just so many dishes out there that I've never made or even heard of. And there are so many spices and condiments and all these extra things that I've never thought of to use before, that once you try them, you feel like you've been missing them your whole life. One thing I really have been missing though is rye bread. So this week I finally was able to find some Colorado grown rye flour, and I took the leap to try and make my own bread. I also decided to try making tofu katsu myself. Things like this always feel tricky or intimidating, especially if there's any kind of frying. Even if it's like still shallow frying, it still intimidates me, but I used the recipe from Sarah's Vegan Kitchen, and I also had some Japanese curry blocks, so I thought this is a perfect opportunity to make the katsu curry, be a little brave and not intimidated by trying new things. And this is the crunchiest tofu ever. I'm such a big fan. For me, this week really represented a kind of change in my attitude, and this could be because it's spring now and the winter, although the winter in Colorado was very strange this year. The fact that we're moving into a new season, the flowers are even starting to come out already, and we have so many birds in the garden. I feel like this time of year my attitude changes to be a little bit more open and experimental. I also feel a little bit more excited and capable. And this is particularly exciting for me because I find it very easy to get bogged down. I can become a little close-minded and I can get a little down on myself. But for some reason, the spring really signifies this kind of possibilities, or the endless possibilities that are ahead of us. I've said in multiple videos that I've been trying to become a villager, a better villager, making bread for my neighbors and for my friends. I've organized a local knitting group for the people who like to knit in my area. And also from there, people who knit but also like to climb, we started a new group for that as well. I think I remember back to this time last year where I was really struggling with my mental health, and I've been doing so many things to try and combat that this year. Becoming a villager, creating meetups and spending more time with people who are like-minded, experimenting in the kitchen, experimenting with different adventures and fitness things that I'm interested in. It just kind of feels like I'm moving into this new era of my life and a new chapter that's really exciting. And I think spring is that perfect foundation or jumping off point for starting something new. Here I'm making a recipe by Lionel Zheng, which is a mapo tofu. And honestly, this makes me think, why haven't I tried making this before? The recipe is very straightforward, it's very simple, but it's absolutely delicious. and it includes a few ingredients that I've never used before, so it feels new and exciting whilst also being healthy and delicious. The smell of the peppercorns in this is just unbelievable. Dry roasting them and then grinding them up just gives the most incredible just aroma. This creator is a genius, honestly. Okay, I'm not sure how I'm feeling about the way that this rye bread has turned out, but people on Instagram are making me feel better because everyone says that rye bread is very dense and it doesn't rise as much, but I mean, this is quite low. I think it doesn't look quite right because I didn't put an extra dusting of flour on the top, which is my mistake, because if you look at the bottom, that looks more, I guess, like a rye bread is supposed to look. But anyway, apparently I have to wait 24 hours before I'm allowed to cut into this to make sure it's not gummy and it's properly cooked and all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna wrap it up in a bread towel or whatever, and then we'll try this for breakfast tomorrow. I mean, I always remember rye bread being extremely dense, but the flavor is really delicious. It's very like deep and earthy. So I'm hoping that this isn't like, have you ever seen that film about a boy when they just like throw the loaf of bread into the lake and hit, yeah, that's what this feels like. For now though, I'm gonna have an apple. This week, another evening just meant another tofu recipe which I was experimenting with, and this one's by Pantry. And this recipe was very simple, very straightforward. It was just a kind of spicy, sweet tofu. The sauce only had 3 ingredients, and you fried the tofu first in some cornstarch, and then we just added it all to the pan and gave that all a good mix. This one definitely felt like a takeaway and something I would 100% replicate on a Friday or Saturday night when I wanted something a little bit more, I don't know, takeaway-y. The flavor's really good, the tofu's really crunchy, and this was really, really easy and straightforward to make. We've been trying really hard to do more local things, so this weekend we actually went to go see the Ice Climbing World Cup up in Longmont. And on our way back, we decided to try a new restaurant called Zaman Fresh, I think. It's a Syrian restaurant on Downing and Alameda. And we just got some falafel wraps and some baba ganoush, and honestly, their pita bread is so good. It's freshly made there, and I would highly recommend this place. I've been adding beans and lentils to my rice recently and then freezing that in portions, and it just makes lunch a little bit quicker on those days where I just want something a little bit more quick. On top of the rice and beans, I had some silken tofu and a very simple dressing. This was also featured in my tofu video, and it's just by I think Nutrition by Kylie. She's a very popular dietitian on YouTube. I just steam my rice in a bamboo steamer because it comes out so fluffy and delicious, and some of these beans I don't think were cooked as well, so it does help to cook them a little bit too when I steam it. I totally get it if you don't like silken tofu, especially if it's a little bit cold. But I think this recipe is so nice, especially when you add like the warm rice and beans. Oh, it is so good. I also had an oyster mushroom leftover, or a king oyster mushroom leftover from the mapo tofu. So I just fried that up with a little bit of salt and added that on top. I'm so hungry because I only had a couple pieces of rye bread, and then I went to my knitting meetup that I organize once a month and just had another cup of coffee. So I'm so hungry and I'm really going to enjoy this. I've never had a braised tofu dish before, so I found this one on Rainbow Plant Life's website and I thought I had to give this a go. I think the more I start experimenting with recipes, the more encouraged I am to try even more. Sometimes I get into routines where I can't really be bothered to go through that process of searching for something new. It's especially hard, I think, as we get older and we find things that we just really like. It makes it harder for me anyway to kind of branch out and try new things when I'm like, well, why would I try something new when I already have something that I know that I really like? But I really challenged that mentality this week with all these different recipes I was trying. And not only was I pleasantly surprised, I added so many new recipes to my rotation that I will definitely be making again. And a big tip I would always recommend is printing some of them out and creating your own little cookbook, recipe book. That makes it so much easier to scroll through, especially those recipes you've found online, and just pick something out pretty quickly. I think I've probably eaten enough tofu to last me a lifetime from all of that taste testing and recipe testing this week. If you haven't seen that video, it's a couple of days before this one, but I need something a little bit different, and Cook Unity wanted to work with me for this video, so this portion is kindly sponsored by them, and they sent me some chef crafted meals, which I'm very excited to try. This one is a lentil bolognese bucatini, and honestly that sounds so good right now, so I'm gonna heat this up and give it a try. This recipe, the lentil bolognese bucatini, was by Chef Art Smith. Smith. I chose this recipe because, well, one, I love pasta, but also it was very high in protein with 27 grams per serving. It also has high carbohydrates, which is really important for giving me energy on my hikes as well. I really love that it's easy to personalize your diet with Cook Unity because you can choose from over 25 plus dietary filters. And of course, being plant-based myself, there were lots of options. They use fresh produce, seasonal and locally sourced when possible, and the meals are delivered fresh and never frozen. These meals are perfect for the days where I can't be bothered to cook or when I get back from a hike and I just want to have something really quickly and that's still nutritious. This was honestly so good, and it's going to be perfect for giving me energy because I'm going on a hike later after work, which I'm very excited about. Getting in some training for this summer of hiking big mountains and for my trip to Canada. But if you're looking for just a little bit more convenience, especially with chef-made meals, then you can get 50% off your first order. Just check out the link in the description below. I've really noticed a pattern with myself recently, and I've noticed this because I've been making a lot of sourdough bread for friends and for my neighbors. And I'm doing this because I love baking, and gifting is kind of like one of my love languages, I guess. And I thought making homemade bread, especially since groceries are so expensive at the moment, for friends and neighbors would be something that would not only be helpful, but just a kind of nice, kind gesture to show that I care and I'm around if people need me. But one thing I've realized is I'm not very good at saying I'm good at things. I mean, objectively, if you look at my sourdough bread, I'm quite obviously good at making sourdough bread. It tastes really good, it rises really well, the color is nice. I've made a million loaves at this point, so I know what I'm doing. But for some reason, I have a hard time saying I am good at this. And you've probably noticed this in some of my other videos where I will have said I'm feeling creatively blocked, I don't feel like my videos are very good, or I'm not adding much value at the moment. And I think what I really need to be working on is actually just saying I am good at these things and giving myself that practice of self-confidence and just saying I am good at knitting, I'm good at teaching, I'm good at drawing, I'm good at bringing people in and including people. Because I am actually good at quite a lot of things, but I'm not good at saying that I'm good at things, or actually just believing in myself and what I'm capable of. I'm not entirely sure if this is something that has happened to me over the past few years, or if it's something that I've always struggled with self-confidence, but I'm turning it more into a daily practice of reminding myself of the progress I've made in certain areas, the things that I'm good at, but that also bring me joy, because just being good at something, it doesn't really mean that much to me, but if it brings me a lot of joy and I'm good at something, that is something that is definitely important to me. And I think all of this actually ties back into the idea of making friends. Good morning. I have just made my coffee. I have the last of the apple oats that I made, or I prepped, or I meal prepped. I'm gonna put those in a pan and get those heating up while I think I do want to talk about a few of the successes and maybe exciting experiments that I did this week. Because this week I've really tried my hardest to experiment with recipes, try new things, because I'm always saying I want to try new things. I always make the same recipes. I want to try new recipes, and I just didn't for a long time. So I feel like this week I tried really hard to try lots of new recipes, experiment with different ways of meal prepping. Yeah, and I want to talk about it. Okay, I think every single tofu recipe that I made was a success. Sometimes you can just tell when a recipe is going to be good, and sometimes you can tell when it's not going to be quite what you're looking for. But I think all the tofu recipes that I made was a really big success, and I've added quite a few of those to my kind of different rosters of things I'd make on a weeknight meal, things that I would make as a treat on a Friday night, etc. I'm also pleased with the rye bread because I've been saying I want to make rye bread for ages, and one of my goals for this year is to actually do the things I say, or do the things I want to do and have promised myself that I will do. So I think that making the rye bread is definitely a big win. And also I do think that it turned out pretty well. It was a very different process than making just a normal sourdough, so it took a lot for me to get my head around. I used the recipe from the Perfect Loaves website. I know that they have a lot of good recipes on there, so I sort of trust them as my first step into trying something new. Other things that I really do want to try, I want to try a sourdough croissant loaf. I also really want to try making ciabatta. I might make those today. But I kind of feel excited again to make food and to try experimenting with new things. I'm definitely getting my creativity when it comes to work back, and it's very exciting. It makes me feel like there is a lot more that I can do and I'm able to provide. I've been trying really hard to think about how I can provide more value through my videos, which is why I made the I tested viral tofu recipe video, because I thought that that would be helpful if people are looking for specific recipes but they didn't want to try them all because it can be expensive expensive, especially with food, so I thought that might be a value add. And yeah, I'm thinking of ideas for the future and things that I'm excited to make. And so I think I've had a lot of good wins this week. I'm gonna do just a very, very mini meal prep this morning because I basically worked through everything in my freezer, which is great. I actually have some of those white beans that I made in my I tested the viral meal prep system video. I have some of those white beans left, and I really liked making this brothy lemon herb bean kind of thing, so I'm going to use those to make that. And I have another sourdough loaf in the fridge that needs to be baked because we're on day 2 now of fermenting, so I'll do that and maybe think of one more thing to meal prep, because if you meal prep and you don't love meal prepping, honestly just meal prepping one thing at a time can be helpful enough. You don't always have to be meal prepping a million things for it to be worth it. So I'm going to enjoy my coffee and do my morning pages and then have my breakfast and do some meal prep. I have had the same friends for many, many years, in fact, a few decades. And so when I moved to the US in particular, and it was a whole new community where I was making new friends, I found that quite challenging because I didn't quite believe that I was the kind of person people would want to be friends with. And that's quite sad. But over the last year, I've actually made some incredibly good friends. And this has really helped to reinforce that I'm a good friend, I'm a good person, I am good at things and have things to offer other people. And I think particularly recently, I've started to genuinely believe that. And it almost feels like a superpower. I'm like unlocking something within myself that is allowing me to be more creative, to care a little bit less about the numbers, but more about the impact of something. And honestly, because of this process, I've become a lot more laid back and I've started to worry a little bit less about the future. Of course, I'm still doing all the things that make me feel more secure in terms of putting money aside, investing in my retirement and that kind of stuff. But now the big questions don't feel so big. And I feel a lot more self-assured that I will make the right decision when it comes to big life decisions. And honestly, just taking solace in the fact that I just genuinely like who I am now. And it's funny because this all comes back to food. Experimenting with new recipes, experimenting with what I'm technically skilled at or can learn. And I've just realized when it comes to learning new things, like we're not bad at anything, it's just new. And when something is new, it's hard to be good at immediately. So I really hope that this inspires you to try a new recipe, or even just to try a different hobby that you're interested in. Because learning new things and cooking more and experimenting in the kitchen, it's really unlocked something for me. And I'm very, very, very grateful for that. One thing I did differently with these brothy beans than last time was I did not put dried beans into the mix. I put ones that had already been cooked. So it kind of gave the soup a bit more of like a thick texture because the beans broke down a little bit more, but I'm quite happy about that. This is becoming one of my favorite recipes that's just pretty simple and pretty easy to make. But I'm gonna make this. I think next video or next week, I'm definitely gonna make those ciabatta because I've seen them being made and they look pretty easy, and I think that those would be perfect for like a day out adventuring or climbing to make sandwiches and things like that. But thank you very much for watching. I have put a lot of videos out recently. That will slow down just a touch, but hopefully I will make longer videos. And yeah, I'm just hoping that you're enjoying the cadence of how much content I'm making right now. I'm really prioritizing YouTube over all other platforms and I'm very much enjoying it. But thank you so much for watching. If you want to see that tofu video, then I will link it here and I'll see you next time. Okay. Bye.